If Paul never quit the band, he would still be here.
Oh, if he hadn't quit the band, then he would, it wouldn't, he would still be in the band.
You know, nobody ever had a problem with Paul, and I still don't know if I know the reasons why he left the first 2 times.
I don't think there's really any other drummer that can replace anybody like Paul can. So when he came in, I mean, when he first joined the group, we sat with him for about almost 2 years, just going over Slayer material, so we can get a groove and a vibe for the songs that we have played, we've written. And then in that process, that's when they started working on Divine Intervention.
The magnifying glass looking at me was so big. I mean, I'll give you an example. I was at a show in Hollywood right after I joined the band in '92, and there was some guy who recognized me. This was before the internet or anything, and he was standing with his girlfriend. He walked up to me, some big guy, and he's kind of looking at me up and down, like, you know, okay, sizing me up. And he's like, "So, I hear you're the new drummer." And I'm like, "Yeah, you know." And he kind of like looks at me up and down, takes his hand and squeezes my bicep, looks at me, just does one of these things and walks away. And I'm like, "Oh, that wasn't weird," you know. So I'm like, okay, this is that kind of encompasses kind of what I thought the overall attitude about me coming into the band was going to be at that time. So Divine, for me, if I had to compare it to any other record, it'd be probably almost impossible because I had everything to prove then.
But this last time, when Dave threw out the internet bomb and we're on a plane for 14 hours and can't respond to it, I land in wherever the hell we were in Australia, about as far as I can fly anywhere, you know, and not be able to respond to something. And then it's taken on a life of its own, so then you just don't respond to it because what's the point?
When things were going on, we had a little roundabout between the 3 of us. And I told him, I said, I really think we should have Paul back, because it's not somebody new. It's not someone that we have to work with. It's someone that sat in the band.
But we pursued it. We got back from Australia. I did demos with John Deddy. I did demos with Paul. The same 2 songs under the same circumstances. They each had like 24 to 36 hours to learn them and just see where it went. And Tom and Jeff both decided Paul, and in hindsight, that was the right choice.
Oh, it took 3 seconds. You know, when they asked me if I was interested again, absolutely.
I'm glad he's back, though, because that makes life easy for everybody, you know, as opposed to having to try to work with someone that we've never worked with. He's a familiar face. Everybody knows Paul, and Paul was a member.
You know, stylistically, things have changed for me. The priorities in which I was trying to achieve certain things, but one thing remains the same. It's got to be Slayer.